This is Book Talk with Corbin. I'm your host. I want to make some commentary here. Not too long ago, a Quintez Brown, sometimes described as an anti-gun violence activist and a Black Lives Matter activist, person who is known among the so-called activist circle as going to demonstrations and raising his voice for the voiceless and demanding peace, justice, love, and equality here in the city of Louisville and throughout the United States of America. So, as a matter of fact, I did see him. A photo was taken of him at one demonstration. He was wearing a black shirt with white text on it that said, "No more, no knocks." No more, no knocks, okay? I found that rather ironic. Actually, the whole thing with Quintez Brown I found rather ironic because, as most of you probably know by this time, Quintez, at one point, he walked into a public area, an office. The office was the office for the mayoral candidate, Craig Greenberg, and the guy opened fire. Quintez just opened fire. He just started shooting. One bullet sort of almost came close to hitting Greenberg, but fortunately, Quintez wasn't hurt, Greenberg wasn't hurt, and other people weren't hurt. In broad daylight, this guy Quintez Brown walks into this mayor candidate's office, Mr. Anti-Gun Violence. He walks into the office and starts shooting. What I found interesting was the response. That's what I found interesting. And I found the response to this interesting because you know darn good and well if he's a white boy who is a conservative, active in a church, or if he's a white boy who is a conservative with any type of Donald Trump book or MAGA hat on his possession or anywhere in his home or anything like that, every last one of these so-called black civil rights folks here in Louisville, Dr. Ricky Jones, Sadiqa Reynolds, a whole slew of others. Oh my God, danger, 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 white supremacy, we're under attack, I don't feel safe. Of course, you got to bring in LeBron James. He's going to come around here. I'm not safe. I don't feel safe walking outside. Oh my God, I'm scared. If that Quintez Brown had been a white boy, done that, you would have heard that ad nauseum. Then you would have had these black activists and their little white morons. They would have, we need money. We need a program. We need funding. My God, we're not safe. None of that happened. Here's what did happen. All sorts of sympathy was written about the guy. And they want to start talking about mental health. Hey, you didn't talk about... They wouldn't have talked about that if he's a white dude. They would have demonized him. They would have done everything short of forming a lynch mob. You know that. You know that's a fact. You know that's the fact. You know that's the way it would have happened. But of course, we got too many people here in Louisville, Kentucky, scared to state the obvious, to state that. Well, guess what, folks? I'm not scared. I'm concerned when I make statements like this, when I take a stand for America, when I take a stand for patriotism, when I take a stand for the free market, when I take a stand for liberty. Because, let's face the facts. If these nuts... If there are enough nuts out there, if there's just one or two nuts out there to go for a mayoral candidate, who's to say he won't go out after other people? It was about maybe a year or so ago, some idiot shot at the police, hit Aubrey Gregory. So those nuts are out there. We know that. But we cannot allow their nuttiness, their insanity, to keep us from defending liberty in Louisville, Kentucky. We can allow their insanity to keep us from speaking up and expressing our love for the United States of America We cannot allow their nuttiness to keep us from standing up for free enterprise and free markets in the Kentucky Constitution and the U.S. Constitution. We can't prevent them from doing that. So Quintez Brown, the response was, he has mental health problems. Okay, fine. First of all, we address his criminal behavior. And once he's in prison, whatever, hey, do whatever you need to do to give him mental health, whatever he needs. But that's not taking precedence. That should not take precedence. What should take precedence is how extremely dangerous he was. This isn't like a gospel tract that was like left at Louisville campus and some moron runs around, danger, danger, danger. That actually happened, people. It's a gospel tract that was left in the University of Louisville campus, and some person went insane in describing a gospel tract as dangerous, wanted a U of L student censored, banned, all sorts of things like that. It was a gospel tract. I have a copy of it. But here we have a person who had a gun, broad daylight, walks into a public facility and just starts shooting. Oh, wait a minute. That same person who wanted a University of Louisville student suppressed, banned, all sorts of things like that, for leaving a gospel tract, he turns around and says to a guy who tried to kill somebody, he has mental health issues. People, the black left in this city are dangerous. They're the ones who are dangerous, not the gospel tract. They're the ones who are dangerous. Timothy Finley, he's part of that whole mentality. He's part of that whole mentality. If some white guy runs around with a gun, he's out in public with a gun at a demonstration or something, he's dangerous. But if a black person does it, that's okay. Or if some white dude comes out and he shoots somebody, he's dangerous. But if a black guy does it, we're okay. And by the way, as you know, Black Lives Matter brought the guy out of jail. He's out on bail. He's out free. I don't care if he's got an ankle bracelet on. I don't care if he's been told, hey, you can't leave your house. The dude, come on. Black Lives Matter and supporters of Black Lives Matter like Dr. Ricky Jones and Timothy Finley, they are not about public safety. They're all about pushing that race-based left-wing ideology. They're all about pushing that cultural Marxist nonsense. They're all about pushing that critical race theory. And in practice, we know it hurts everybody. It hurts this whole city, black and white, male and female, rich and poor. And we have to speak out against it. We have to speak out against it. Time and time and time again, we have to speak out against it. We cannot be like the church was as you saw the rise of Nazism, National Socialism within Germany. It came to a point when the church in Germany was not immediately forthright in condemning National Socialism, their anti-Semitic ideas, their whole socialist mentality, socialist ideas and policies. It reached the point to where, boom, they were in power. The National Socialists were in power. The Nazis had taken it, and it was too late. Read about Dietrich Bonhoeffer. It was too late. The few Christian voices that were courageous enough to stand up there, it was too late. We cannot let that happen here in the city of Louisville. We have to speak out against these people. Quintez Brown is really not the issue. The issue are people like Timothy Finley and Dr. Ricky Jones and others like that, Shamika Wright, who, when black folk do something, we have to have a different standard, a lower standard. When something criminal, flat out criminal happens, like vandalism and rioting in the street, oh, wait a minute, that's okay. that's okay. If some black person, some brown person's doing it, that's okay. But if some white guy's doing it, we got to, no. You're a citizen of this, you're a resident in this city, you engage in violent behavior, you engage in vandalism, you engage in extortion, that's wrong. I'm sorry, we got to come down on you. That's all there is to that. And some people say, more black people, when black people commit crimes, they may not have the money, to post bond. Hey, I got a message for you. Don't commit the crime in the first place, you knucklehead. You won't have to worry about posting bond. What was it? What was that TV series where Sammy Davis Jr. was singing the theme song? Oh, it was a Beretta, right? It was Beretta. What did he say? Don't do the crime if you can't do the time? Moron. Hey, you don't have to worry about, if I'm black and I'm in jail and I'm not able to post bond. Well, I got a clue for you, fool. Don't commit the crime in the first place. You won't have to worry about that. We have to speak out against these people. Quintez Brown is not the issue. He's really not. It's how the issue here is how these people like Timothy Finley and Shamika Wright, Ricky Jones, Sadiqa Reynolds, how they respond to it. And we have to speak out against that. Now, of course, they're going to take that personal. I don't care if they take it personal or not. I love the city of Louisville. This is my home. And I'm not going to quietly sit by as my city, as my beloved Louisville is turning into some sort of third world cesspool. A bunch of nuts running around killing one another, rioting in the streets and burning down buildings. Oh, yeah, I'll name a couple of countries if you want. I'll name them. And so, no, and I don't want that for the city of Louisville. And I'm calling upon patriots, Republicans, independents, libertarians who can hear my voice. We've got to speak up against this. We have to speak up against it. We have to. We have to be consistent about it, and we have to be courageous about it. And of course, we're going to be called racist. We're going to be called the black face of white supremacy. Who cares? Of course they're going to say that kind of stuff. Wherever these damn communist knuckleheads have reared their ugly heads, of course they came up with name calling. That's fine. We still have to speak up and speak out. We still have to speak up and speak out. There have been heroes, martyrs, all throughout the world in the struggle against this communist, socialist, cultural Marxist nonsense. We can't be silent. We can't sit back. Because I'm going to tell you one more. If we keep silent, if we don't say anything, one morning we're going to wake up and it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. We're going to wake up and we're going to look to the left and our neighbor's gone. And we're going to look to the right and our neighbor's gone. Going where? Concentration camps, gulags, things like that. Some people think, oh man, you're exaggerating. Am I? Am I exaggerating? Really? Why don't you go study the history of communist rise in the People's Republic of China, Zimbabwe, Cuba. Why don't you go check that out? Go check that out. This is Book Talk with Corbin. I'm your host. Go check out my website, booktalkwithcorbin.com. Corbin spelled Corbin.